Hey guys, welcome back to the 6th Gear Garage. I'm Brian, and today we're going to take off the headlights, wet sand, clear coat, and reinstall them on my 2006 Acura TSX. Here's how to remove the headlights on a 2006 to 2008 Acura TSX. A 04 and 05 are probably the same way. First thing I did was I took the bumper off. Here is a link to the video on how I did that. And now that I've got the bumper out of the way, I can get to the bolts to remove the headlight and this little bracket that supports the headlight and the bumper snaps into. So first thing I'm going to do is reach behind here, and you can see you've got your harness for your bright over here and your parking light, the amber one right there in the middle. So first thing I'm going to do is unhook both of those. And coming down here to the side, looking under the back of the headlight here, you can see the harness that goes into the ballast with the HID. Now the ballast is going to come out with the headlight because it's screwed into it from the bottom, so it's much easier just to unhook the ballast. And I will say, on the passenger side, there's a lot more slack in the harness. This driver's side is pretty tight. Next, we got one screw, which is hidden under this plastic cover here. And then we have a bolt here on the top of the headlight. We got a bolt over here on the side, which also holds on this bracket. And then there's a bolt under here. This one here goes straight back. And that way you can just pull out this entire bracket with your headlight. Okay, I'm ready to pull this headlight out now, and my hand was too big to fit back there to unbolt or unplug that harness plug for the ballast there. So now I've got this pulled out a bit. I got some more slack. I'm gonna do that. And also, you can see the one going to the parking lamp, the corner lamp here right there. And you can try and get that from the inside if you want, kind of tight back there as well, or you can just get it with your other hand when you are pulling out the headlight. Took the headlights outside, I washed them off with a hose and a bucket of water and a sponge just to get all the dirt out, and I let them dry, and now I'm going to start sanding them. Next step is to wet sand the headlight. I have two types of paper here. I've got some 1500 grit and I have some 2000 grit. The 1500 grit is a little bit more coarse, so I'm going to do that first and wet sand in a crosshatch pattern. And then after that, the whole surface will be completely clouded over, and I'm going to go back and do the same thing with a 2000 grit. You can see it's starting to get a little bit cloudy, and that is what you want. That is going to smooth the surface and make it uniform. So next, move on to the 2000 grit sandpaper and do the same thing, sand in a crosshatch pattern. And in a short time, you'll sand through the scratches for your 1500 grit. Now, after you sand with the 1500 grit and 2000 grit, this is what you should be looking at. You have a evenly clouded over surface because of all the fine scratches you put in the headlight, and make sure you get the edges as well. And next step, you'll be ready to clean them up and apply some clear coat. When you are getting ready to paint, you want to first make sure you wipe down the surface of the headlight with a wax and grease remover. I'm using some PPG DX 330, but any wax and grease remover will do, just to be sure you get all the grease, even from your fingerprints, off of the headlight, because that will cause the clear coat to not stick. Now, instead of polishing those fine scratches out, I'm going to use a clear coat. And here's a good quality one. You want UV resistant for sure. And I'm going to go ahead and use this urethane finish that I have here, because I'm already going to be using that to clear coat the bumper. So the gun's already going to be full, might as well. But if you don't have to go through all the trouble of spraying with a gun, just go ahead and pick something up like this U-Pole Clear. It's available at Sherwin-Williams automotive paint stores. Beware, not all aerosol clear coats are created equally. This lacquer, for example, won't hold up as long as they're UV resistant
clear coat by U-Pole. So from here, you could polish your headlights, and people do that. They'll polish this plastic and get the scratches out, but that doesn't last. If you want it to last, you need to put a UV resistant clear coat over, just like they did from the factory, and you get much longer lasting results than you will with just a polish. Now when I'm clearing these headlights, first thing I do is I go with a real light coat, almost like a mist. And then the second coat I come back with a bit of heavier coat, probably I would call it a medium coat. And then the final coat, which you'll see, is a very heavy wet coat. In fact, the final coat is so heavy that immediately after I spray it, I pick up the headlight and hold it so that the surface is flat, just because I don't want it to get a run there going down the vertical surface when it's sitting up on that bucket. And you can see that real thick clear coat, that final coat is going to get you a nice smooth surface with minimal orange peel, just like from the factory. Here's a look at the other light after the second medium coat, and you get close and you can see it's got the orange peel in it. And I'm going to come back with that last heavy wet coat and wait till you see the difference. I actually went extra heavy and did 2 coats for the final wet coat. Now notice I immediately picked this up because you've got that vertical surface and you got gravity, and that thick clear coat is going to want to run. So I pick it up, hold it flat, just to prevent that from happening. And now look at that, looks like glass. So all done. I made sure I held them for about a minute just to let that paint cure so it's not going to run. Set them back down and I'm letting them dry. I'm going to let them dry overnight and then put them back on the car and we'll see how they look. Alright, let them cure and I popped them back on the car and turned on the headlights and they look beautiful. Crystal clear, no haziness. Look much better. Can't wait to see them at night. Here's a shot with the lights off and the bumper back on. Now let's go back and see how they were before. Oh yeah, you don't realize how bad they are until you get a fresh set. Give these a couple months to cure and then go ahead and put a coat of wax on them, just like you would when you wax the paint on your car. Alright, let's take one more look. Now the bumper's all back together and we'll go for a test drive at night. I didn't get any good footage of the old headlights being used at night, but I will tell you, not only can you see a lot better, the signs far away reflect better, and that cutoff line for the projector headlights is also more sharp than it was before. So it looks real good, and the car looks about 10 years younger. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for other projects I do on my Acura TSX as well as in my garage.